Hey everybody, it's Robin. It is Sunday afternoon. What do you do on Sunday afternoon? I do weekly meal prep. Even though I'm really working from home more often than not, I like to meal prep on Sundays. So I just put butternut squash and organic local grown carrots in the oven to roast. To do that, I cut the squash in half, scooped out the seeds and everything, and cut them, put them face down, and they are in the oven, as you can see, roasting away. That'll be about a 2-hour roast. You always want to put your cut sides down, put that little bit of water in them so they kind of steam and get good. Perfect. So if the carrots all don't get used in what I'm eating, I'll mix them up with a little yogurt, a little peanut butter, and those are doggy treats for Delilah because she loves her carrots. My next thing I have to do today, Yoda was getting a little full. She's down to here now. I have poured off this much, that much discard from her, fresh today. Plus I've got 2 jars of discard in the fridge. So I'm going to be making some discard crackers. Probably 2 loaves of discard sourdough lunch bread. Yesterday I made a great regular sourdough, not discarded, regular sourdough loaf, and it's soft. I don't like hard crusted sourdough. So I had to figure out how to do that. That was actually easier than I thought it would be. It was lower the temperature, watch your time, a little extra love, no big deal. So my sourdough is down now. She's happily bubbling. She's very happy. This is the happy sourdough starter. How do I know how much to put in? I truthfully do a 1:1 ratio, and I eyeball it because I'm not digging her out of the jar, digging her onto the scale, putting her in something, weighing that. I don't have time for all that. Sourdough does not need to be a bloody science fair. So what I'm going to do, I have my flour in my container. I am literally just going to take a spoon and scoop out flour. And I am going to eyeball that so that I get about the same amount of flour as I had starter. Now, what I do know about my sourdough starter is she likes to be a little chunky. She's not the pancake batter that you hear people talk about. She likes to have more flour than water. So my sourdough takes a little more flour, a little less water. Because if I make her chunkier, A, she grows beautifully, and B, it takes her longer to fully feed. By having a slower feed, the gluten starts to form better. Now, the one thing you need to remember with sourdough, I've got flour on my chest, on my sweater, with sourdough is this part, you want the gluten. It's on the back end when you're making your loaves that when you proof them in the fridge, after you've done your bulk fermenting and sitting and folding and stretch and folds and coil folds or whatever you do, when you put it in the fridge, that's when the magic happens. Because sourdough is less impact on somebody who's diabetic's gluten numbers, and carb numbers, so their sugar doesn't spike. It's better for somebody who has a gluten intolerance or, a tummy problem with gluten products. Sorry, I can't even talk today. So the longer you have your sourdough in the fridge, once you've made your dough, mixed it all up, bulk fermented it on the counter, stretch and folds, you've now shaped it, it's in your baskets, it's covered with a wet towel, it's in the fridge. On average, I leave mine in the fridge before I bake it about 18 hours. If you leave it in there 24, if you leave it in there 32, 36 hours, you are breaking the gluten down. because the dough starts to eat the gluten. And therefore, you have a lower glycemic number for your sourdough bread and a less tummy bothersome product for your bread than if you just baked straight bread. So at this end, I'm trying to build some gluten. At the other end, I'm breaking it down and getting her all stirred up. And this is what my sourdough likes to look like. She is thick. She is chunky. Whew. She's a thick girl today. And that's what she likes. That's what she likes. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You know, chunky is a good thing. Chunky is a good thing. We like chunky. So I am going to scrape off my spoon. And I'm going to put this in my discard so that when I start cooking with my discard, which for that I do measure and I do weigh, I'll have my spoon. I won't have to make another one dirty. So that is what's happening in my kitchen today. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Love ya. Bye.